Did you guys know the secret to your daily success is in your morning routine? Let me show you guys how. Hi guys, welcome to this channel. If you've clicked on this video, then this is for you who want to succeed in your personal life, your private life. I want to specifically speak on how your morning habits will make you an unstoppable person, because if you start your day off with the intention of success, and if you can visualize your day starting off with success, or just visualize your day in general with success, then your brain is just going to recognize success. It's not going to recognize problems, it's going to recognize solutions. So I'm a huge proponent of a morning routine, morning habits, whatever the case may be. It doesn't matter what obligation I have, I always start my morning off with similar routines, or similar, not even just similar. Yeah, I want to say similar just because at times there is a time crunch and I'm not allotted to work out in the morning, but I would do something that would allow me to at least cement my feet into the ground and not be shaky throughout the day. I am able to execute quicker, and I'm just overall fearless, and that will make you unstoppable in all areas of your life, whether it's academia, whether it's your professional life, whether it is your social life, whatever the case may be. You are just a lot more present, you're a lot more articulate, you're just acutely aware of your surroundings, and you're acutely aware of yourself, and therefore you're able to make better decisions, and you're able to just set yourself up for success in whatever capacity. So let's get into it. Why your morning habits matter. They matter because they create a positive mindset. If you wake up in the first thing in the morning and you're like, oh, work, or oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, you are looking for a way out. And the brain is very smart. It hates resistance and it hates working hard, and it'll just look for the easiest route, i.e. procrastination, i.e. cutting short corners, but in that way you won't grow. So when you start your day off with a positive mindset, then you are already in the mode of feeling great, feeling energized. And I always trick myself into believing that I'll be having a good day, albeit not all days are a great day, but I just trick myself into saying that today's going to be a good day, and I just go into it with that mindset. Also, creating gratitude prompt journals. It can even be 2 sentences. I'm grateful for X. I'm grateful for Y. I'm grateful for, and the affirmations, if you can't think of anything yourself, then the night before, look for positive affirmations. So the first thing that you do in the morning is just grab a pen and paper, which is hopefully by your bedside, and you just jot down the affirmations, the positive affirmations that you will instill in yourself throughout the day. And it's always going to be a reminder rather than just texting it. There's not a strong connection with your brain and the technology, but there's a stronger connection between your brain and your hand when you're physically writing something down, and you're also thinking it whilst you're writing it down. So start your day off with intention, set goals, and also visualize success. And I want to say, I'm always going to refer back to the night before because that also matters, but that's going to be in another video. Promise, soon. The night before, I want you to lay out everything that you will be doing in the morning. So if you're going to be working out, I want you to lay out your workout clothes. If you're going to be doing journal prompts, I want you to put the journal as well as, or even just a pen and paper just by your bedside. So you're not exerting mental energy thinking of where's my pen that I had 2 nights ago, or what journal am I going to use. Everything is going to be right there in front of you, and you're just going to just grab it and go. It's not even a thought process. That thought process, or the mental energy that you're going to be exerting with that, you can save for much later. That seminar, that exam, that, lunch that you're going to have with a friend, whatever the case may be, it'll be stored and used elsewhere. Another thing that I want to get into of why your morning habits matters, because you need to prime your mind and body. And what I mean by that is, do light exercises or gentle exercises that will get you into that flow state of having a successful day. If you're just going to lay about in bed and scroll for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, that's a luxurious amount of time, by the way. So the second thing that I want to get into is to optimize your morning routine. If you're someone who wakes up at, let's say, 6:30, I want you to start getting up at either 6 o'clock or 5:30. Oh my God, big deal. Not really. If you give yourself more time in the morning, you are not in a time constraint. You're not rushing into things. You are not exerting so much energy into your brain, the stress and anxiety of, I gotta get ready, I gotta get out the door, there's none of that. You give yourself ample time for your morning routine, and once you set up the morning routine, which I'll get into a couple examples, and I'll also give you a bit of my morning routine because it fluctuates. So number 1, wake up earlier. Number two is to prioritize your tasks. Your tasks should actually be written the night before. It should be 3 to 5 of the most important things that you want to do the next day. The first one should be the most important, but also hardest. So, as I mentioned before, your brain is always in resistance mode. It wants the easiest way out. It'll find every way to procrastinate. You will find yourself somehow miraculously scrolling, okay, or texting, or you're on the phone and you're doing everything to avoid the hard work because again your brain just wants resistancy. But if you get up and you already have your tasks written out, I prefer writing. I'm just old school. But if you prefer, sorry, not if you prefer, but if you grab your piece of paper and then you just look at the tasks that you had written the night before, you're not even thinking of what it is that you have to do. You just get into the flow and you do it. So if it is meeting a friend for a berries boot camp, 30 minutes away, you just grab your stuff and you go. That is the hardest part of your day. Cool, you got it out the way because you're not even thinking about it. You already had written it the night before. If it is to practice for a seminar, you get up, as I said, half hour, 45, an hour earlier, and you just practice the seminar. So you're not going into it with so much stress and so much anxiety. You're not against the time is working for you and alongside with you, if that resonates. The other thing I want to say is create a morning routine that is specific to you. It's going to be very subjective because not every person is in school, not every person is at a job. Some people work for themselves, some people work with families, some people are volunteers. So whatever the case may be, just create a morning routine that works for you. On my days off, I want to say still get up early because I want to create consistency, but I also created a morning routine that is non-negotiable for me. So the first thing I do when I get up is just my journal, not my journal, but it's just a notepad and pen in front of me and I just write. It is a gratitude prompt, it is a affirmations prompt, and it is one thing that I want to work on or focus on the day. Focus on that day. I'm already acutely aware of where my resistance is and where it is that I need to work on, and that is what I write down and try and focus on for the day. The second part of my morning routine is meditating. I would meditate anywhere from 2 minutes to 5 minutes. So personally, I get up anywhere between 4:30 and 5:30, 5:45 at the latest on my days off. Well, there is no days off, but I just always get up during that time, and that sets the time for me to do my morning routine, which consists of the journal prompts, which consists of meditating, which consists of spiritual time, which consists of me making breakfast, and it consists of me also visualizing how I want my day to be. I would have hard days, yes, or I'd have days that there is a lot of resistance, but I still power through it because of how I started off my morning. I visualize how it is that I want my day to be. I'm grateful for a lot of things, and I always try and just flip the perspective and see the glass is always half full. Another thing that I want to emphasize here is the first 15 minutes of you waking up, your brain is still in theta mode, and what that means is it's still in a frequency where everything that you think and feel and visualize is just how your day is going to be, because your brain is going to be cemented in that frequency throughout the day. So I always try and start off with a positive affirmation, positive mindset, and visualize success in whatever way. If it's for work, if it's for social life, if it is for work commitments, if it's for social obligations, whatever the case may be, I want to feel success. I want to feel energized. I want to feel positive. I want to feel all the feels that will create a flow for me that would just ultimately lead me into having a day that I want to say counted for something, rather than just it be another day and no memories created, no success, no deliverables, no nothing. And I don't want to say that you shouldn't have morning or days where you're just off, and your rest days are just as important as the days that you are hustling, but it has to be proportionate. It can't be disproportionate of you giving 90% of your days off and just 10% on your days on. It doesn't work that way. So yes, create a morning routine that works for you. Another thing that is supremely important for me is breakfast, and everyone's like, not everyone, I shouldn't say everyone, I shouldn't generalize. However, you would find a lot of discourse of you should have this amount of protein, you should have this amount of sugar, not really sugar, but you have this amount of fruits and this amount. Everybody is different. Every body is different. If you have the luxury of working with a naturopath, I highly encourage you to work with one, because when you get your blood results, they will create most of them will create a meal plan that is specifically for you, for your body type, for your blood type, for your sugar levels, whatever the case may be. It's specific for you. And for me, I focus a lot on protein. I focus a lot on protein just to build muscle mass. And so there's no starches, there's no sugars, there's no any of that. It's just protein, protein, protein. And I always make sure to have collagen as well as electrolyte throughout in the morning, so I'm hydrated throughout the day. Not to say I don't drink water or juice throughout the day. I do, but it just sets the day up for hydration, as well as I'm not snacking throughout the day if I'm having a protein dense breakfast, lunch, as well as dinner. So to recap, my non-negotiables are the journal prompts, it is visualization, it is the tasks that I wrote the night before, it is breakfast, it is my spiritual time, as well as me just grabbing things and going, just because I've set everything out the night before. I'm not thinking about what it is that I have to do, and I always just want to feel great in the future, and so I set myself up the night before or the day before, just so I'm not thinking about, oh, what do I have to wear, what do I have to do. Like, there's none of that. That is just all X out. So some things that you guys can do for setting yourself up for the morning routine or just success in the day. So some things that you guys can do for setting yourself up for your morning routine is to having a solid breakfast. And again, as I said, it's going to be very subjective. It's just going to be specifically for you. Don't take in what I'm saying, just what I'm saying specifically for breakfast, because I'm focusing specifically on protein rather than anything else. So feel your body that works best with you. If you don't have the luxury of getting a naturopath, then just see how your body reacts to certain foods and adjust and tweak as you go along. If you don't have the luxury of doing the journal prompts, then read an excerpt of something that is inspirational. It can be a chapter, it can be a paragraph, just something that is inspiration, that'll get you going, that'll get you thinking, that'll expand your mind, that'll expand your perspective and give you another way of thinking throughout the day. And if you mull over it long enough, then you'll find that you're going to incorporate some of these things throughout your day, week, month, year, what have you. But it's always going to be somewhere in the back of your mind, because you're doing it first thing in the morning and you're not scrolling and you're not hearing the loud music and you're not hearing the screaming, the this, the that. Your brain is not distracted by anything, and it's taking in this information and, believe it or not, planting a seed. The other thing that I want you guys to try and do is to disconnect from tech. Your phone should not be the first thing that you're grabbing unless it's to snooze your alarm clock. That's it. The journal prompts, whatever it is that you want to read. Actually, whatever it is that you want to read, I'll get back into that. But the only thing that you should be doing is actually just shutting off your phone, your alarm, or if you have an app for meditating, which I do, then just use that. If you feel that you're disciplined enough. If not, then just snooze, but the night before, create journal prompts. The night before, you should already have something that's going to be set up so you're able to read it. So put your phone on airplane mode or do not disturb, or just no notifications, and then go to that excerpt and just read for 5-10 minutes and get your day going. So let's try and do things for your mind, body, and soul. So nourish your mind with something that is inspirational. Nourish your soul with either meditation, if you can do light yoga, if you want to go for a 5 to 10 minute walk just around the neighborhood, once, twice, what have you. And also have a healthy breakfast that is specific to you. The impact of your morning routine is monumental. It increases your productivity as well as reduces stress. And what I mean by it increases your productivity is because you're not exerting so much mental energy into what it is that you have to do, what it is that you have to wear, what it is that you have to eat. All of that is eliminated, and you're able to just focus on what needs to be focused on, i.e. that seminar, i.e. that lunch that you're going to have with friends, that i.e. whatever the case may be. You're solely focused on that. Start your day off with an intention and start your day off with a plan to succeed. If you're not planning to succeed, you're just planning to fail. I'm sorry, you've heard it before, but it's actually true. The other thing that I want to discuss is how you're going to reduce stress and anxiety. I've mentioned it a couple times in this video, but again, you're not thinking about what it is that you have to do, all of that is eliminated, and you're focusing on what needs to be focused on. Getting to school on time, getting to work on time, succeeding in that seminar, or presenting that seminar flawlessly, whatever the case may be. All that stress and anxiety that would have been there in the morning is now eliminated. You already started your day with some sort of purpose and control, and you're no longer trying to chase, or you're no longer trying to catch up with time. So another impact of your morning routine is that it increases your physical and mental well-being. If you are constantly picking up your phone first thing in the morning and you're scrolling, that's not really setting up your day for success. It's actually creating distractions throughout the day, because you're always going to be getting that or wanting that dopamine hit, and your mind is not disciplined enough because in the morning it was literally one of the first things that you did. So let's cut that out. The other impact is the physical impact. So if you do light exercises, if you do some sort of meditation, if you do go for a walk for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever the case may be, that alone has its own benefits, and it just contributes to a healthier lifestyle. Believe it or not, you'll see the results if you are consistent. And let's go back to consistency. If you are consistent with that for, I want to say 21 to 90 days, 90 to just like cement it in there. So the last thing I want to discuss is to sustain your growth. And not the only way, but one of the main ways to do it is consistency is key. Anywhere between 21 to 90 days is more than enough time to create a habit that turns into a lifestyle. I want to recommend a book to you guys. It's called Atomic Habits by James Clear, and it is just chef's kiss. It's the reason why it's a #1 bestseller year after year. This book has changed the way that I look at habits, which turned into a lifestyle. If you start with increments, consistency is key. So make your morning routine a non-negotiable. It has to be a part of your day where there's absolutely no non-negotiable, no distractions, whether it is in person, via tech, whatever the case may be, no distractions whatsoever. Should you stick with that for 30, 60, or 90 days, you will see the results. I promise you. If I can see them in a month and a half, then you'll be able to see them in less or even more time. But regardless, consistency is key. Just 1% every single day, you will see massive results. Again, start with increments, 1% every single day, and until it becomes a habit becomes a lifestyle, and then before you know it, it's a non-negotiable part of your day. The other thing I want to say is to track your progress. Now, this is very difficult, but the only way to actually know that you have succeeded or that you are going in the right direction is when it becomes a non-negotiable part of your day. My morning routine, I don't care who's calling, I don't care who's texting, whatever is going on the outside does not matter so long as I completed my morning routine. But then again, I do wake up at a time where I'm not getting phone calls, I'm not getting emails, I'm not getting any sort of notifications or distractions that will allow me to veer off my morning routine. None. The last thing that I want to say is adapt and adjust. You don't have to be so strict on what it is that I'm saying, what it is another content creator saying, what it is James Clear has said. Take things from every single person, incorporate it into your own lifestyle. If everything that I've said works for you, great. Nothing that I've said works for you, great. But I'm sure there's valuable information out there that you can take and it'll work out best for you. Again, trial and error. Nothing is ever linear, so if you fail, great. Just keep going. Again, as I said, consistency is key. Be flexible. You really have nothing to lose. If you don't have a morning routine now, then start with one or a few things that I've mentioned and make changes as you need it. It's totally up to you. This whole video is really for you guys to be subjective about your morning routine. There's zero benefit to me. All the benefit is to you guys. But again, consistency is key. Try and track your progress. If you don't feel as though they're changing, go ahead and grab a journal or a pen and paper and just see where it is that you can make improvements. Thank you so much for joining me in this video. I hope you found it very valuable. If you want more videos like this, please comment below what it is that you'd like to see. And also don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!